We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 310. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. Joining us this week is the always effervescent Scholar Tarek. Scholar Tarek, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing quite well. Senor Fool, how are you?
Me gusta. Also joining us today, of course, the Scholars of Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion himself, the one and only Mr. Scholar Brian. Scholar Brian, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing okay. Hello, everyone.
I missed you last week, Brian.
And rounding up the rest of this motley crew, the one and only Scholar Charlie. Scholar Charlie, how are we doing this evening?
My name is Charlie, and I'm a Battleground addict.
Hi, Charlie. What kind of
Who's your
warm
favorite
welcome was
character on that?
So far, I'm Manning Orton. Big shot.
Okay.
Randy Orton.
Yes, as of this recording day, today was the first day that WWE Battlegrounds has been released for public play. Charlie is the first one to get of all of us to get his hands on it, and we're going to be talking about that later on in the episode. But first, we got to kick things off on this show the right way with a little segment we like to call a Backstage News.
Indeed, we shall go right ahead and go to that curtain to the back and go peek back there with a little bit of
Backstage news.
News. Did Tark just freeze, man? Oh, no, I saw his hand moving. We are not having technical difficulties.
A lot of crazy shit I just saw backstage, man.
A lot of it.
He pulled the curtain too far back.
I just saw a big bright light with a rabbit and a pig.
When you look behind the curtain looks back at you.
And nobody wants the curtain to look at you.
But yes, when we do look back the curtain, did you happen to look into a galaxy far, far away, fool?
I see where you're going. I see where you're going with this.
Because if you have, you would have seen that the boss herself, Sasha Banks, for some reason, is in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Give me something here. How did she get the role? Is she a Jedi? Is she playing a Jedi? What's going on here? Someone give me something.
Okay, I've known about this for months. It was actually announced months ago that this was going on. It's a 1-episode gig.
Well, look at Mr. Fancy Pants over here.
All you got to do is read the internet once in a while, Scholar Jeff.
You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah. But it's a 1-episode gig. It's a side gig. So she's not a Jedi. She's none of that. She's a side character. I don't know why she's in the trailer. Maybe she's an important side character. But yeah, she's.
Yeah, I was really baffled. Like
it did come out of nowhere when I first heard about it. It's like, oh, Sasha Banks is in The Mandalorian, and I was like, what? Why? For what reason? And
probably right here we're talking about it, wondering why.
Yeah, and so I'm interested to find out. This is a show that made Bill Burr as a bounty hunter actually work. Okay, so I think if you could do that, then you can pull off anything. That's it.
Tarek, you're one of the biggest Star Wars fans I know. Give me some initial thoughts and where you think this could all be going.
With Sasha Banks?
Yes.
As a Star Wars fan, I don't know. I don't know where they could go with Sasha Banks. As a wrestling fan, I don't give two shits because I never gave any two shits about Sasha Banks. So there are other things that happened in the first season of The Mandalorian that I actually am more intrigued about, and that's what happened in the final 15 seconds of the episode. So, but there was nothing going on in this new trailer that hinted at that. I'm trying my best to avoid spoilers for whoever wants to watch The Mandalorian if they haven't watched it already. That's okay. Okay. And I'm just pointing at this direction because that's how I'm viewing you guys on the screen. One of you could be here,
and you, and
here,
you, and you,
here,
and you, and you.
here. In case of emergency, the exit's right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, anywhere. But yeah, when it comes to Sasha, is it confirmed that she's only in for one episode?
Yeah.
Then I don't care. She's probably just some random bounty hunter.
I don't know, because in the trailer, this is why I bring it up. They seem to be talking about the Jedi around on the exact same time when she is in like center frame. Then she just suddenly vanishes. I'm like, wait, are they actually making Sasha a Jedi? Or like, wait, what?
Trailers can be misleading.
No.
So don't take that with anything. Just think, oh yeah, she's only in one episode. She'll probably just be killed off quickly.
Yeah, well, so was Kit Fisto, and we all love him.
Hey, Kit Fisto was awesome in the Clone Wars series. And then he gets killed off like a bitch in episode 3.
But he was still a Jedi.
Let's face it, okay? Most of the Jedi get killed off like bitches in episode 3. Doesn't matter how cool they were.
All right. Unless you're Samuel L. Jackson and he gets taken out like a badass. Even though his character is an ass.
Well, he's Samuel L. Jackson. He can't die like a bitch. That's just not physically. That's just not possible.
All right. Let's put all these early predictions to bed with a tiebreaker. Charlie, because I know you're such a massive Star Wars fan. Scholar's Quick Talk is...
We watch the movies now.
Oh, I can't use that joke anymore. Never mind. Anyway, the Scholar's Quick Talk remains the same. Is Sasha Banks a Jedi in The Mandalorian Season 2 or not?
And she's not going to be anything special.
But will she be a not special Jedi?
No.
Okay, I guess that's loud and clear.
My stereo piece, Brian, right there, in case you didn't hear me.
Oh yeah, it all came through in unison beautifully that one time. How convenient. Thank you very much, Skype recording. But elsewhere, that wasn't the only interesting bit of wrestling-related news we got this week. Of course, we had 2 major re-signings. We had a re-signing of Jeff Hardy, who signed a new deal that allowed him to use his old theme song, No More Words Again. And it was just announced as of today that WWE has re-signed Melina after all this time. She's been doing some work with NWA lately, and now apparently that's caught someone's eye in WWE, and she's just gotten signed by the company again.
And by the way, just before we go on to that, it's also been announced that your boy Rey Mysterio, Charlie, signed his 3-year deal. So
Booyaka, booyaka. I like money.
So that's another re-sign.
Booyaka, booyaka. Push my son. Yay, booyaka, booyaka.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Because I just have to
We gotta give it to Dominic. He's been putting on pretty entertaining content.
Well,
now there's something going on with his daughter and Buddy Murphy, whatever the hell that is.
Boy, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
So you got Rey Mysterio, you got Jeff Hardy, who all he wanted was his theme music, and that's it. And
Negotiation skills.
Yeah, and Melina, who for me is most well known for that check on Tough Enough saying that Alicia Fox versus Melina was her favorite match ever. That's it. So
Yeah,
it's
wasn't that Ariane Andrew?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that says it all right there.
Yeah, so it's just she's good. She I enjoy her entrance a lot.
Yep.
And I enjoyed her title runs when she was a part of the WWE the first time, but I'm like, this isn't huge, groundbreaking stuff. It's like Jeff Hardy was gonna resign. Okay, even if they didn't give him his theme music back, he was gonna resign. If that's all it took.
Yeah.
To be so Rey Mysterio's not going anywhere until he faces his son. So because that's gonna be the huge, like, I think that's his send off match, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic as his
Contract he just signed.
Did we hear
it's gonna be Jimmy King versus his son in real life? Don't do it, Dad.
How long did
Good
Mysterio
God, look at that grill. I love Ready Rumble. I don't care.
To do it. When Brian said that they eventually are going to have to face each other, it just Ready to Rumble was the first thing that just immediately popped in my head. It was, no, don't do it, Dad. Son?
Which have any of you guys also seen David Arquette Won't Die?
I have not. I need to see that.
David Arquette or whatever it's called.
Is that out yet?
It's on demand now too. It was really good. It's worth a watch.
Okay, I guess there's going to be a review in the future then.
Is there? Really?
Hey, if it's good enough, then yeah, we may it may be mandatory scholars viewing at this rate.
Sounds good.
But all that aside, before we get too ahead of ourselves, we're already talking about what Rey Mysterio could be doing. Any preliminary thoughts about what they could do with Jeff Hardy coming up, and more importantly, what they're going to be doing with Melina? Jeff Hardy is already an active part of the roster, but Melina, she's going to be a relatively fresh face. It's been a while since she's been in there.
I feel like Melina's going to play the Mickey James role on the opposite.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
On the
like
opposite
James and
show.
Talent all over her.
So I don't know if it's going to be the opposite show, because I don't think her and John Morrison are going to be on the same show. They might have gotten over their shit enough to be able to work on the same show, but either way, I think Melina's going to be the opposite show of Mickey James, and she's going to be doing the same kind of thing, just putting over the new talent and all that. And Melina's going to be fine with that because she's making her money. So that's it.
Making those fat WWE checks.
Yep. And for some people, like John Morrison and Melina, that's all you need. Make those fat WWE checks.
Get those McMahon bucks. Well, speaking of McMahon bucks, I believe the time has now come to talk about the latest release from WWE video games department, whatever you want to call it these days, whatever's going on down there these days. WWE Battlegrounds. Looked crazy at first. WWE has not had the best luck with video games at the front. But yes, Tarek.
You got to call it fully by its name. WWE 2K20 Battlegrounds.
Okay, okay.
Charlie,
WWE 2K20 Battlegrounds.
They got to find some way to put that 2K name back on the positive light. And of course, and how Charlie's been, bringing out the pillows to cover his erection on this game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're gonna try. They got to try their damnedest to put the 2K name back on a positive light after the last game disaster.
Yeah, so couldn't ask for a better segue than that. WWE
Segway, Charlie,
2K20
how big of an erection
Battlegrounds.
do you have?
What Tarek means to say is, day one impressions. What do you think of the game?
Simply put, sorry, Dick. Simply put, they didn't have to do this year. They could have just continued working on what is hopefully their next masterpiece, 2K22. It was a pleasant surprise. It's been a long time since I picked up a game on launch and played it for like 5 hours straight that day. I did so with this so far. I like the old school element of the SmackDown games where you have to actually earn the, I guess, secret wrestlers, hidden wrestlers, unlockables, whatever you want to call them. But there's like launch roster, counting the unlockables, there's about 60-something guys, and there's going to be a downloadable additional 75, and it's all going to be free. So you can't argue with that. The replay value is clearly there. It's an awesome arcade party game, and I can't wait to play like 4-player with you guys. It's going to be insane. Well, if Tarek plays, but
I got a series of questions.
Go for it.
Does this seem more like a sequel to the WWE All-Star games than anything?
It's All-Stars taken from like a different angle.
Okay. And how many of the current roster, minus Roman Reigns and The Fiend, because that's all, and Becky Lynch and Charlotte, since they're the only four that of today's roster that they actually promote, the rest are a bunch of part-timers and people who have retired or died. So how many of the actual current roster are in the launch roster?
They basically split it halfway as far as current roster goes, with launch and the DLC package.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it stopped around the time that guys like Andrade's partner,
Angel Garza.
Yes, that he and Humberto and
Talking about Andrade doesn't have a partner. They broke up.
Whatever. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, but it's about half and half as far as that goes.
And final question. Have you fed someone to the alligator?
No, like I said, unfortunately, when you first get the game, you only have one arena. I got to find out how to unlock the other arenas. So far, I've just been unlocking wrestlers.
Beat Bray Wyatt in every multiple characters that they probably have of the Bray Wyatt.
Yes, you can unlock Swamp Bray, like Cult Leader Bray Wyatt and Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. But get this, I was when I was going through the alternate costumes that you can unlock. You can do all of that with Bray Wyatt, but then Finn Balor just has 3 different color attires. No demon.
Well, he seems to be dropping the demon.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He said he's not going to be doing the demon that much anymore, so it looks like they're just keeping him as the Prince.
Yeah.
I've got a follow-up question about the control scheme for a minute here. Because I know you said it's you said it was similar but in a different way. Can you expand a little bit more about that? Is it in what ways is it different from something like WWE All-Stars?
You remember when they were making those WWE cartoons, the CGI cartoon?
Which CGI cartoon?
Slam City.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
they're more so like that build.
I'm like, the only WWE cartoon I remember is Camp WWE.
Yeah, I noticed that after I was saying it. But they're like the Slam City build.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of multiple player matches, whereas I don't think All Stars had many other choices than regular one-on-one.
Yeah, I think they had like a fatal four-way, and I think they had like a ladder match or something like that.
Cage, this has all that.
Does it follow?
Awesome. Steel cage, the cage electrifies, and you got to do like a bunch of stuff before you're allowed to escape the cage. So it makes it like strategic party game-ish.
Does the rest of the game follow like a same general suit as All Stars did? Meaning like there's crazy strikes, there's like combos you can do in the air, and if you damage your opponent enough, you don't have to pin them. They can just do like a instant knockout.
This is pin and submission.
Okay, so no like one-shot knockout moves like All Stars.
No, but the ring does explode on certain shots.
Gross.
Okay.
And then you can use the ring posts as weapons.
Okay. Like when you say we use the ring posts as weapons, are we talking about like bashing someone into them, or are we talking like rip them out and just like
someone over the head with it?
Oh dear. What are we getting ourselves into now?
Some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Brian, any thoughts, questions for WWE 2K20 Battlegrounds?
I just got to say that I like what I'm hearing after the I know Charlie liked it a little bit, the game last year, but I couldn't. Last year was so bad. So it's like if what Charlie is saying is true, because I'm going to within the next week or two pick it up. If we're getting back on the right track, that can only mean good things for games that are coming in the next couple
I
years.
feel like with this, 2K is saying, here, have some fun while we work on, like, hopefully fixing everything that you guys wished for 2K22.
Now, when the wrestlers are going absolutely crazy, it's actually intentional.
Yeah.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
There are slight 2K Twitch glitches, but nothing that affects the game as much as 2K.
It's the regular 2K glitches and not the holy shit 2K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing that'll like make you lose the game or like end up being counted out when you like thought you were in the ring, but you're like on Mars. What's it called? What was I gonna say? Oh, and I don't know if there's like different thematic things for each entrance at each arena, but in the New York one, for whatever reason, the wrestlers burst out of wooden crates. So I needed to face Dolph Ziggler as my first opponent because of the whole Spirit Squad thing, and just see that again.
When you were explaining that, like, they're bopping out of like cardboard or like wood box, whatever, I mean, I'm like, okay, Shockmaster is going to be a downloadable character, and he's just going to fall flat on his face as an entrance.
Has to happen.
So yes, you're not wrong.
All right. That being said, Scholars Quick Talk, if you got to add any one wrestler to the DLC roster for Battlegrounds, who would you add and why? Gun to your head, you have to add somebody.
I think Goldust would be awesome in this.
Okay. Brian, who would you add?
God damn.
They're already on the DLC or main roster.
Well, I don't know who's on what.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Oh, Boogeyman is going to be a DLC, which is going to be sick in this artwork.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
then.
got just to piss Tarek off. Great cheese. Put him in there.
That would look goofy.
Tarek, who would you gun to your head? Who would you add?
I am pissed off, not because Brian said it, but because he actually took my answer. Who do I want to say?
Good question, isn't it?
Well, it's definitely. Let me put it this way: it's definitely not a scholar's
Cover
quick
series.
talk question because we actually have to think about this. Um,
Like, as it doesn't even have to be a good or realistic pick. Just like gun your head, instinct choice. If you had to ensure that one wrestler was in this game,
Virgil.
Virgil. I was gonna go with El Dandy, but there you go.
I think I won
Oh,
as
you
more
can't-
obscure.
Either El Dandy or Disco Inferno. It'll be great.
Never forget about El Dandy.
I never doubt El Dandy.
But
If
yeah,
you doubt-
for Survivor Series, it's gonna be awesome because, like, legit, anyone can pick up a controller and just get into this. The controls are that simple.
So, am I correct in assuming that we're all going to be battlegroundsing and when we get back together again?
I sure
Oh,
as
yeah.
so.
Why not?
Cool. It's a date. Now, anyway, speaking of new acquisitions in the world, we would be remiss if we didn't at least touch on AEW briefly because they got a new signing, and it's the former Rusev Miro.
And it's one of those you could see how happy he was when he was actually cutting that promo.
Yeah.
So it's do I think that he's going to get used to his full potential? Not right away. They got a lot of moving pieces right now. So he's gonna be stuck in the shuffle for a little bit, but let's be completely honest, he's doing more now than he was doing at the end of his WWE run. So if
Big
he's
time.
going to be the best man for Kip Sabian at this point for a little while, okay, at least he's on TV doing stuff, which is more than you can say for the end of his WWE run. So at this point, I'm just happy to see him on TV again.
Fool. Initial thoughts on AEW signing Miro, and what can they do with him?
Initial thought. Don't trust when they're saying they're gonna retire from wrestling, because most likely they're just full of shit.
If you actually thought that he was done, okay, then just turn off the show right now because you're not a wrestling fan. You don't know better. It's like
They gotta learn.
anyone who says that they're done, most likely not done.
Facts.
My initial response, man, he just can't keep away from wedding gimmicks, huh?
Apparently not.
I like the interview he had after his debut of Jericho saying he could pretty much say whatever he wants and that he helped him with the brass ring shove it line. And just his initial response saying, "Oh, I can actually say what I want."
How
Holy shit.
novel.
Wow. And yay, he's on AEW. Yay. It's just, I guess, like the one real big difference between AEW and WWE right now for me is that essentially every storyline is actually worth a damn. They actually are putting so much time and investment in each storyline that they put on their shows. Like compared to WWE, if it's not a main event storyline, they really don't care. They don't put that much time and effort. And you can just really tell where they put their mind to it because the good stuff, that's it. Like when they have stuff that they're actually paying attention to, it's really good, and that's only really the main event stuff. But I'm happy. I'm happy Miro's on TV. It's just more of. It didn't have a humongous impact because it's just more. It's like, okay, we know that we're gonna get more signings. I'm glad he's on TV. Just shame his wife is being punished for it. And
Supposedly.
it's between that and the energy drink that she was promoting. It's a mix between those two. Whatever actually forgot what that drink is called.
Bang.
I never knew.
What is it? Oh, okay.
One more time? I didn't catch that.
It's Bang.
Bang. Energy drink.
Bang.
Bang.
But yeah, it's just come to the line of as long as I even posted on Twitter, it's like doesn't matter. I don't give a shit about the ratings. I don't give it like as long as I'm getting great wrestling content. I don't care what brand it is. I don't care what show it is. Just give me good wrestling and basically push your talent correctly. And at least the words is going out is that high morals have been raised. The morals have been raised in WWE ever since getting out of the Performance Center and into the Thunderdome. So that's a win. At least, like, pretty much now it's just reached that point. Just give me good shit.
Give me that good shit.
Good shit, not Vince McMahon good shit.
Give me the real good shit.
Give me the good shit that's actually meant for us and not an almost 80-year-old man.
Yes, there you go.
Absolutely. Before we get off the conversation about Miro, Charlie, let's pitch it to you one last time. Impressions of Miro, and who would you like to see him challenge in AEW?
First off, who retires on their Twitch channel?
How many wrestlers even have a Twitch channel going forward? There hasn't been enough time to really set a precedent here.
All you'll see is AEW wrestlers pushing it down WWE wrestlers' throats that they have a Twitch channel.
Let's face it, if anyone's going to retire on their Twitch channel, it's more than likely going to be Kenny Omega.
Fair point.
Might be Xavier Woods too.
Yeah. He might have to retire from his Twitch channel, but not retire.
He doesn't have to retire from his Twitch channel because Up Up Down Down is owned by WWE.
Well, that's awesome.
So he can keep that. So he'll retire on his Twitch channel WWE style.
Nice. There's a lot of guys I'd like to see him mix it up with. Who I know he certainly won't is Pac. He's made that clear already. Saying he tore his pec. I don't know. Do you think they're gonna put him in tag?
Most likely.
For
Get
now.
him started maybe.
For a while, so we'll see.
Yeah, for me, two names come in mind. Yeah, go on.
For Miro, they're not gonna treat him like a huge deal right away. So he'll be in the tag team with Kip Sabian for a little while, maybe like 6 months to a year, and then they'll start building him up.
Makes sense.
It's evolution now. He's calling himself the best man, which is now in line with the Kip Sapien. I'm his best man, but now that's eventually going to evolve where it's going to be essentially best there was, best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, best man. That's how they're going to go with him. The best man is going to become the best man, not just the best man for Kip Sapien.
Yeah, definitely.
Bret Hart references.
Huh?
Hopefully without the Bret Hart references.
It was just a example of where they're going to go with that because he loves the best man name. So I could see him just basically keeping that shit going.
Before we close out on the Miro talk, I got a little pitch for you. What do you think about these feuds coming up? Like these are just my picks. In the tag division, well, in the singles division, Miro versus Joey Janela. And in the tag division, him and Kip Sabian versus the Lucha Bros.
I could get into that.
I think you'd be more likely to see, instead of singles, you'll see Kip Sabian and Miro versus Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss, which would work for me. Lucha Bros work with anybody, so that's it. So
Yeah, I know that's kind of cheating, isn't it?
that's a given. But I think the one I'm most interested to see is the one that with Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss versus Miro and Kip Sabian, because that's real shit. So that's because Kip Sabian actually took Penelope Ford from him in real life from Joey Janela. So I mean, like, that's real shit. So you can get a real good feud out of that. And you add in tag team partners, and it works even more. So I'd be interested to see that one.
All right. Any other thoughts on Miro before we move on? Going
Nothing.
once, going twice. Okay, now
I
let's
just wish
climax.
Aiden English would came out as him. Here's the best man. Oh, here is the best man.
I did like that the crowd started chanting Miro Day.
Yeah, that was cool to say where he just got right into it immediately.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of getting into it, I don't think we can delay it any longer. We need to talk about the climax.
All right.
Yes.
Giggity you.
Yes.
Ryan wasn't here last week, so this is his time to make up for that.
Yes, friends. We are recording this on Friday night. As if memory serves, I believe the first day of the G1 Climax 30
Triple X.
is going to be
X.
happening tomorrow, or maybe
climax of them
something
all.
absurd like 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, Brian, let's pitch it to you first since you didn't get your chance. Initial thoughts on the G1 Climax.
Biggest climax ever.
That would be the greatest tagline.
It's the 30th one, man. I can't really go into it too much because I don't really know the participants. But I mean, like,
Well, let me pull that up for you right quick.
Jeff, you can't pull it out for him right now. It's just.
Yeah, I don't need to see that on Skype, bro. I don't need to see that.
What, you don't want to talk about rosters and
on Skype, so maybe he wants you to slide that into his DMs.
All right, I got it. I got the thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Going down the list again.
You're holding onto it really tightly.
Holding on to the thing over there, Jeff.
Really tight.
Climax
A block.
No,
A block. We've got Kota Ibushi, Jeff Cobb, Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, Will Ospreay, Shingo Takagi, my boy Minoru Suzuki, Taichi, Jay White, and Yujiro Takahashi. B block, we got Hiroshi Tanahashi, Juice Robinson, Hiroki Goto, our boy DVD Phil, Toru Yano, Yoshihashi, Tetsuya Naito, Sonata, Zack Sabre Jr., Kenta, and Evil.
And Evil.
Indeed.
I think Kenta's got a shot here.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Kenta's got a real shot. I think that this is the year that they've let DVD Phil make a comedy run. Because of how well he's gotten over with the John Moxley meme.
I'll tell you what, I would love to see that happen, but I have my doubts. He's not El Dandy. I can doubt DVD Phil.
It's one of those. I don't think that he's gonna win the thing, but I think you could get a good comedy run out of him. Like get like the flukes, the comedy fluke wins, like in the first half of the tournament, and then just have him get run over.
Yeah, we talked about this briefly, but I want to get Brian, now that you're joining us, I want to get your opinion too. If you had to pick an overall winner for the G1 Climax, overall winner who can win the entire thing, who do you think it's going to be, and who would you like it to be?
The biggest winner is going to be the tissue companies.
Well, that goes without saying.
And the pillows. The
And
pillows
and the pillows, yeah.
The pillows to hide it. That's it. But I'm gonna go with what I said before. I think it should be Kenta, and I think I'd like it to be Kenta.
Interesting. And I think Kenta could very well be a strong pick. The only thing that's making me hesitant to go with Kenta.
Okada win. I don't think they'd let that happen.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, they can push that button anytime they want. I don't think they would do that. I'm right there with you. The only thing that's making me hesitant from thinking that Kenta is a top level guy is because the winner, if you remember, gets a shot at the IWGP title, and the current champion right now, if memory serves, is Evil, who are both technically part of the Bullet Club.
I'm not certain that he's going to hold that title for long.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, Evil will hold the title forever.
Forever Evil.
All that stuff being said, my pick is still, I'm going to pick one guy above all else. It's DVD. My fantasy pick. No, not DVD Phil. I'm going to pick Minoru Suzuki. I just want to see him eat everybody. I love Minoru Suzuki. I love Minoru Suzuki. He's just a complete and total badass. He scares me, and I want to see him devour everybody and actually win the IWGP title.
Very dirty.
Everywhere.
Yes. Now, before we close, I do have one final Scholars Quick Talk for all of you. This is going to supposedly, at some point, be broadcast in English. Now, the question is, are any of you going to attempt to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is to watch any of these shows live?
I like to sleep. I'm good.
Maybe last year when I wasn't working, it would have worked out, and I would have tried. But I work normal hours now, so 4 o'clock in the morning is not going to work for me.
I enjoy my nap.
I wake up at 5. 4 o'clock's pushing it.
I wake up at 5 too, but that's not because I have to wake up for anything. I just wake up at 5. Yeah. No matter what time I go to sleep. Last night I went to bed at 1. I still woke up at 5.
That's the
Ow.
It's one of those things where it's like, I have the app. Okay, I just won't log into Twitter that morning until I watch it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, truth be told, I'd be shocked if any of you said no. Or if any of you said yes, you would are actually going to watch it live at 4 o'clock in the morning.
No, that's a Jaybird thing.
We're not Bill O'Reilly on this, so yeah, we're not going to do it live.
Watch it live.
We're not going to do it live.
Well, I figured that it was worth a shot at least. Sometimes when you ask that question, you never know what kind of answers you're going to get. But
lack of sleep sucks.
Lack of sleep sucks.
Lack of sleep sucks.
Indeed.
Oh, yes. Indeed.
Wherever he is. It's hard.
We are all places. But anyway, now is the point of our show where we turn it over to you, our wrestling listening, viewing, and enjoying audience. No matter where you are, all across the internet, Facebook, YouTube comments, social medias all over the world. We want to know hear from you. What do you think is going to happen at the G1 Climax? What do you think Miro is going to do? Is Minoru Suzuki going to eat everybody? We want to know what you think, so drop us a line all across the internet. Facebook, YouTube, comments, and our personal favorite, the good old Twitter machines. Start off by messaging us at ScholarsOW for all the latest episode uploads every single week. And as always, you can join us in a more personal way by following us on our personal Twitter accounts. Fool, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at the Avataric.
Brian.
You can find me getting my pillows and tissues ready at Atomic Beanpole.
Generalissimo Charlie.
You can find me with my tissues and pillows ready at Charlene.
And
with
you can
playing
find
Battlegrounds with those tissues and pillows.
Oh, they're Battlegrounds, all right.
And
Your place is gonna look like a war zone, but it's not the way we're
not that kind of war zone.
Not that kind of war zone, yeah.
if you want to escape all this madness, you can check me out at I'm Robbie Rage. Join the conversation. Join in the fun. Not too much fun. We don't want to add any more events to the climax.
You already did.
You already did. You already saw that was coming because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you all. Try and survive the climax.
Whoosh.